you think this would also cause inconveniences, and how are we supposed to manage this now, knowing that the hinterlands are still part of the communities of the people?
We don't even need to go as far as the north. Any part of Nigeria, apart from the major cities, the Abuja, in fact, even the major cities, motorcycle is still highly dependent on. So I think the issues are the same, really. And again, that is another sign of we trying to treat the symptom, because I mean, using motorcycle as a means of transport is not sustainable. I'm not saying we are right for that yet, because there are challenges. You know,
but in the interim, in the now, what other options do you think we have?
I mean, for the sake of security, I think it is a step in the right direction that this step is taken. In fact, the argument I was even expecting to hear more from people really is that, oh, how about people whose means of livelihood is dependent on the use of motorcycle and the rest? Well, unfortunately, the same motorcycle is being used for crime. And when you look at the priority, in my opinion, I think security is more pertinent, in my opinion.
Okay, and talking about the operations of the army now, the Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai last Friday also spoke about the reorganization of the exercise of Harbin Kunama 3 to tackle banditry, and in their response they say, well, the army is faring pretty much fine with superior firearms, but when you overpower these bandits within, let's take for example Zamfara, Katsina or Kaduna State, it means they have to run to neighboring towns as well. What do you also expect of the army and our security apparatus, especially utilizing intelligence this time around and ensuring that we nip these menace in the bud and don't give room for them to also thrive in other areas, not necessarily defeating technically, because we've heard the army say Boko Haram was defeated technically and they came back, and we wouldn't want the bandits pushed back and come back reinforced.
Really, what we're doing right now is what is popularly known as fire brigade approach. You know, something has gotten to the the very peak, and we're like, okay, what can we do quickly to address it? Unfortunately, this is a telling sign for us. This is a warning for us to take a more serious approach, a more proactive approach to these issues. Like you rightly said, you're pushing them out of Zamfara, and what happens to the neighboring states, because these are, whether we like it or not, maybe they're Nigerian, most of them are Nigerians, okay, so they live where you're focusing on, and then they go to neighboring states, they gather enough momentum, and they attack the neighboring states. What do you do? So I believe that while we are doing that, while we are trying to, ensure that we bring some level of stability to Zamfara state, that we look at it more holistically as well. Bring back this issue. Let's discuss this more holistic issue of community policing. How do we ensure that, or how do we engage people more closely, the community leaders, okay, the elders in society, at the very basic level, not just in Zamfara, but in every kind of the northeast, of the north generally, of Nigeria. I think what we need to do is to use this as a springboard, as as a sign, as a warning for us to do the right thing. In going back to the drawing board, looking at the issue of security in our nation more deeply, and then coming up with a solution that will be community-based. I think that's the way forward for us, if you ask me.
And do you think that approach would necessarily give us a step ahead of these bandits as well? Because they virtually know, as we are planning right now, as the army says they are intensifying efforts, as the police say they are also doing X, Y, Z, banning the use of motorcycles. These information are out there as well, so they are also having their own counter motives and strategies in place. So now, to what extent do you expect us to utilize intelligence? Once again, I go back to this because, for example, the secret tape conversation that was sent to the Emir of Zamfara State, saying that any redeployment or any new strategies to deal with these bandits will cause much more crisis, which means they are saying that they are going to come back and terrorize the communities even stronger. What level of investigation engagement do you now expect between the security apparatus and ensuring that they find these bandits? Make arrest, we have investigations done, make arrest, at least if there is one, then you can be able to pick the bigger picture and then pin everyone involved in all of this.
Unfortunately, you cannot even make arrests if you don't know these people, if you don't get the cooperation.
That's why investigation into the state is necessary.
The issue of cooperating, getting the support of people, getting your people on their side, getting people on your side, on the side of the security forces is very vital. It's paramount. You need without them, you don't even know this terrain properly. They know this terrain. They interact with some of these people. Some of these people, they know them. All right. So I still think that we need to get the people more involved. You know, we need to enlighten them the more. Say this is how we can. It's only when we work together that we can win this war.